Today, the State Department is designating the Russian Imperial Movement, also known as RIM, as a specially designated global terrorist, or SDGT. We're also designating 3 of RIM's leaders: Stanislav Anatolievich Vorobyev, Denis Valyalovich Garyev, and Nikolai Nikolaevich Trushalov. These designations are unprecedented. This is the first time the United States has ever designated white supremacist terrorists, illustrating how seriously this administration takes the threat. We are taking actions no previous administration has ever taken to counter this threat overseas. RIM is a terrorist group that provides paramilitary-style training to neo-Nazis and white supremacists, and it plays a prominent role in trying to rally like-minded Europeans and Americans into a common front against their perceived enemies. RIM has 2 training facilities in St. Petersburg, which likely are being used for woodland and urban assault, tactical weapons, and hand-to-hand combat training. This group has innocent blood on its hands. In August of 2016, 2 Swedish men traveled to St. Petersburg and underwent 11 days of paramilitary-style training provided by RIM. A few months later, these men and another person conducted a series of terrorist attacks in the Swedish city of Gothenburg. In November of 2016, they detonated a bomb outside a cafe. 2 months later, they bombed a migrant center, gravely injuring 1 person. And 3 weeks after that, they placed another bomb at a campsite used to house refugees. Thankfully, that device failed to detonate. Swedish authorities were able to arrest the attackers, and they've now been tried and convicted for their crimes. The prosecutor who handled their case blamed RIM for radicalizing them and for providing them the training that enabled the attacks. These historic designations are just one part of the Trump administration's broader efforts to counter white supremacist terrorism abroad. We're bringing all of our counterterrorism tools to this fight: information sharing, counter-messaging, combating terrorist travel, engaging with tech companies, and building partner capacity to protect soft targets like synagogues and mosques. Today's actions are possible because of an order President Trump signed in September of last year, the most significant expansion of federal terrorism sanctions authorities since the aftermath of 9/11. Thanks to this order, the State Department now has the authority to designate groups and individuals that participate in training to commit acts of terrorism. We can also designate the leaders of terrorist groups without needing to show that they were involved in particular attacks. And let me be clear, today's designations send an unmistakable message that the United States will not hesitate to use our sanctions authorities aggressively, and that we were prepared to target any foreign terrorist group, regardless of ideology, that threatens our citizens, our interests abroad, or our allies. Thank you. See you, Kylie.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
I'm sorry, who are you with?
I'm Sienna.
Sienna, I'm Nick from ABC.
You're at ABC.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Yep.
You're gonna jump on the call at 10:30, Kylie?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you.
You well?
All right.